Hi guys, so I'm here in the beautiful Meadow field, which is really quite rare in Ireland. Most fields have been what's called improved. That means they've been sprayed with Roundup, they've been ploughed, sprayed again, and then seeded with a grass seed that dominates all other flower growth, and then it's turned to dairy, for example. All across Ireland, you will know when you were younger, I'm around 47, that there was many fields like this that weren't improved, but under the CAP system, the majority of these have been removed all across Ireland, and in tandem with that, you've lost your insect population. We have a complete collapse taking place. Like every other country in the world, we're no different because we're doing industrial farming, we're using stronger and stronger chemicals, and that's been since 1945. So that's the history from an agrochemical point of view, why this field is so unique. It has never been sprayed. I've asked the locals, they told me it has never been sprayed before. So we really have a unique opportunity to save the many different insects that live within here and molluscs that have not been damaged. That means if it has not been sprayed, the quality of the water is better than normal on a normal Irish farm, and it means you could have long generational connection of insects and molluscs within the field. There's butterflies everywhere, as I mentioned in the other video. There's insects, so many different types of bees, bee mimic, hoverfly, green fly, blue fly. We need all the different insects because they feed all your birds, but they also pollinate all the beautiful flowers that we have around us. And they are responsible for over, I think it's 80% of our food. Without them, our food doesn't get, many of the foods we buy in our supermarket that need pollination, it doesn't happen. Anyway, so the path leading into the field will come in here, connecting to Mill Lane. It's fenced off at the higher end, going through here, and travels outside the iris, which is your floodline, as I mentioned earlier on, into the next field, which is covered with low canopy trees. In general, this field is kept without adding too many more trees. We may add some willow along here, which is really important for water absorption and for the bank, but not too much, because you'll disturb the beautiful flowers that are growing alongside the bank here. They need their light, they need dappled light, and they in turn serve their purpose. So we'd only add maybe a bit of willow, maybe a few beech trees along here which live in water as well. Along here it's suggested that we put low-lying trees that produce and help a lot of protein. What I mean by protein is insect producing. So the hawthorn, the typical tree in Ireland, is so important. Over 100 species are supported by hawthorn. Alder buckthorn doesn't support as many, but it supports the brimstone butterfly, so it's a very particular tree, really important for that butterfly, which is getting rarer and rarer in Ireland. Maybe some blackthorn, but as we move away, it would be beautiful to plant, you know, an oak tree somewhere here, one area that it doesn't interrupt with the electrical line. So maybe that could be this point here, one or two oak trees, and that's the point there. So when you walk in, it already has this kind of canopy effect in 30 years time, but it still allows the light. That's very important. You can see your light here coming in. You need your light for the meadow. A meadow needs minimum 7 to 8 hours light. Okay, so fenced off area. The council's handoff, for the council, the handoff is very simple. They're not in charge of this area. This area is managed by local groups. I'm suggesting there will be Tidy Towns members from Delgany and Greystones, involved. There will be members of a group which I'm going to set up with scientists and people called Guardians of the Three Trout Stream, and we're all going to work together to create this beautiful corridor for wildlife, for our children, for all the local schools to study in, and most importantly, to protect the wildlife that's here. You know, the days of building where we wipe out the edges of streams is over. That has to stop. You know, it can't continue. We can't keep passing the buck on this really important word, biodiversity, which is life. It's our life, it's our children's life, just as equally. It's insects' life, bird life, plant life. We have to coexist with nature. You know, the way forward is that. It's not to go against it. Okay, well, thank you very much.